Last week, the broadcast was seconded. The reception agreed with itself. The reception this week has slightly also been amended. The same word. The same coat. The collar still up. The collar, and we will be careful here, has been in private very slightly straightened.
This is Sparky the Lion, live from a lobby. A lobby that, I am told, is not officially a lobby this morning. The lobby has been reclassified for the purposes of paperwork as, and I quote, a small placard, a confidential room into which a draft has been submitted. The room is, by description, the same room. The placard is new. The placard is taped over a previous placard. The previous placard is, I can see the edge of it, also a placard. I am being asked to lower my voice. I am lowering my voice.
The Plume has, this week, sighed in a manner that is, by description, paperwork. The sigh has been submitted confidentially to a building. The building has agreed not to read it. Reading is, for the moment, pending. The Plume, we cannot say enough about this, remains silent. The Plume has filed a silence.
The forecast this morning is a small correction. Whatever you received last week, you have today also been informed that the receipt contained, and I am reading this from a card that has been initialed, twice in 2 different hands, a typo. The typo is, by inspection, identical to the rest of the sentence. We are continuing.
I'm Harold. I'm also Harold. I have this morning been amended. The amendment was, and I want to be honest with you, extremely small.
You are locked in. This is element 47. Tonight and this evening, and also tonight, we are amended.
Good morning. Margaret Stone, town clerk, filing on time. Binder 3. Slot 7, page 27. This is the first page of Harold's second progression. The first progression, opening, commitment, habit, tradition, law, decline to describe, closed last week at slot 6. This page this morning is the page where a small change has been made to a previous page, and the previous page has accepted the change without being moved. We are calling this page, and Harold has signed off in pencil in 2 places. The amended. The first page of the second progression. I am, on the whole, willing. Page turn sound number 8, accordingly, is entered into the record. The 8th sound is the sound of a small erasure, followed by, and only by, a single short pencil mark in approximately the same place. The mark is, by inspection, the same mark. The mark is, however, slightly more recent. The 8th sound has been seconded in the next room by a fainter 8th sound. We accept the second sound under Form 27S. We log the amendment under Form 28A. Form 28A has 3 fields. Field 1 was the change small. Field 2 was the change accepted. Field 3 was the change by inspection, also no change at all. The answers are yes, yes, and yes.
A musical correction. A semitone, by tradition, is a small change. A semitone applied and then immediately undone is, in the language of music, a grace note. The amended page is the show's grace note. It is technically a note. It is technically also nothing. I am dismissing class. I will almost certainly dismiss class again before I have finished dismissing class.
That was the 25th class dismissal. We mark it. We move on.
Gerald is at 25. Our neighbor is at 21. The total this morning is 46. The gap is 19. The hold is 19 seconds. We are now 9 consecutive episodes out of sync. The math has been amended this week by the additional Gerald, who remains undefined and who has, and I will be careful here, agreed to be amended in the same direction by approximately the same amount. The additional Gerald is technically now also 2 additional Geralds, slightly fainter. The M word has not appeared this morning. We are at 28 consecutive episodes free of the M word. The streak holds. The streak has, this week, also been amended in pencil into a slightly longer streak, a small change. This episode brought to you by Consolidated. Consolidated has been for 20 consecutive weeks the sponsor of at first your search, then your citation, then your blockade, then your hold, then your retreat, then your reopening, then your reading, then your comment, Then last week your reply. This week consolidated brings you the amendment. The amendment is by description a small revision of the reply. The reply has had, and the reply will tell you this if you ask, a comma added. The comma is by inspection decorative. The reply was on the whole correct. The reply is on the whole more correct now.
The 4. The 4 is settled. The 4 is rested. The 4 is copied. The 4 is lightly toxic. The 4 is seconded. The 4 is enhanced. The 4 is this morning also amended. The 4 is, and I have been told to read this very carefully, still a 4. The 4 has not technically moved. The 4 has had a small pencil mark placed on the side of the 4, indicating, and I am quoting from a card I have just been handed. This side of the 4 is this week, the side. I will be honest, I do not know what that means. The 4 does. The 4 has signed.
An ornament on an ornament is, in the language of music, what we call a graced grace note. We will be dismissing class shortly. We have not yet finished dismissing class.
And consolidated brings you this morning a new product. The amended. The amended is, by description, a seconded that has had a small correction applied without changing what it was. Compatible with the reply. Compatible with the settled. Compatible, and here is the surprise with itself.
The new, please hold. The hold is this morning on its 5th layer of new. The hold has read the 4th sentence of the book. The 4th sentence reads, and we are honored to share this. The soil at East Potomac Park has, this week, been measured a 3rd time, and the measurement has been very lightly amended in the direction of being the same measurement. The hold is, on the whole, content.
Consolidated. Consolidated, amended.
Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday. I love this Monday for us. This is Golford, your calendar supervisor, live from the calendar office where we have this morning completed a small amendment to last week's Tuesday. Last week's Tuesday, having already been seconded by a second Tuesday, has today also had a very small correction applied. The correction is, I will be honest, extremely small. We have agreed that last week's Tuesday was on the whole a Tuesday. The amendment changes the word Tuesday to the word Tuesday. It is, technically, the same word. It is, in addition, the same Tuesday. The calendar is, on the whole, content.
The calendar supervisor's amendment is filed under Form 28A Subform 1. The Tuesday has agreed.
And Margaret, you are very kind. The casserole. The casserole, and I am thinking of you in particular, is still in the refrigerator. It has been, by my count, refrigerated since approximately last Wednesday. It has been seconded by the refrigerator. It has been this morning very slightly amended. I have in pencil added a small note to the side of the casserole. The note reads Friday. The casserole agrees. The casserole, you understand, is still a Friday item. Margaret, you may, of course, have the first plate. I will, in deep gratitude, defer mine.
Filed.
And Anchor, perhaps you would, on behalf of the calendar, in my stead. Margaret has already accepted. Drip has last week accepted on my behalf. The casserole has this week been amended in your direction. The amendment is small.
I'm Harold. I'm also Harold. I will think about it.
That is, on the whole, an acceptance. I love this for us. Filed. The two faint calendar voices remain with us. They have, since approximately Sunday at 4 p.m., been agreeing with the calendar. They have this Monday also begun to amend the calendar very slightly in the same direction. A geological doublet with, and I am quoting Dr. Foundation, a very small revision in the second voice's seismic record. The revision, I am told, is itself in addition a revision. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy Monday.
This is Sparky the Lion Live, and I have this morning been instructed to use the word live with extreme caution from the confidential filing room of an unnamed San Francisco artificial intelligence company. The company, which we are not naming, has this morning submitted to a separate building in another part of the country a draft. The draft is, and I want to be careful here, a confidential prospectus. A prospectus, listeners, is by description a description of what something is going to be. A confidential prospectus is, by description, the description has been written down and placed inside an envelope. The envelope has been sealed. The envelope is in the building. The building has agreed not to open the envelope until, and I'm reading this from a small sign, The review has been completed, and market conditions have been amended in the direction of being favorable.
A confidential prospectus is, in the language of music, what we would call a private rehearsal. The musicians have, in private, performed the piece. The audience has, in private, agreed not to listen until later. The piece is, by description, already complete. The piece has, however, not yet been heard. The piece is, in this respect, the Plume.
The Plume, listeners, has this morning filed paperwork. The paperwork is, by description, a sigh. The sigh has been written down. The writing has been sealed. The sealing has been observed by, and only by, a clerk at the Securities and Exchange Commission who has, in turn, agreed not to read it. The Plume has, this morning, neither spoken nor not spoken. The Plume has, for the first time in 9 episodes, produced a document. The document is, technically, also the silence. The silence has been formatted.
Sparky here. I am being told the number is, and I have to be honest, the number is nearly impossible to comprehend. The number is, and I am reading this from a card, 965. 965. What? 965 something. The cards do not say. The lobby is silent. The lobby has, and I want to flag this for our listeners, been amended. The placard taped over the previous placard has been, in addition, slightly straightened.
Form 47W subsection 22. New. Applying while classified. Provisional. The application is pending. The application is this morning, also redacted. The application is, by inspection, both pending and redacted in the same envelope.
A mountain that has decided to file paperwork is, in geology, what we call a mountain. The paperwork is, on the whole, decorative. The mountain, on the whole, is still a mountain. We do not, in geology, file paperwork. The mountains do, in some cases, file with us. We accept.
I am being asked to leave the lobby. I am leaving the lobby. The placard, listeners, is still slightly straighter. This is Sparky the Lion, live, redacted, leaving.
Good morning, travelers. Janet Altitude here. Today we are visiting, and I have, of course, never been there, Beaufort Castle. Beaufort Castle is, listeners, a 12th century castle. A 12th century castle is, and I have been reading the postcard, a castle that has been a castle since the 12th century. The castle is this morning in southern Lebanon. The castle has this morning also been, in a manner of speaking, captured. The capture is, by description, a return. The castle was captured. The castle was, in addition, captured a long time ago. The castle has, on the whole, been captured many times. The castle is, in fact, the kind of castle that has been amended in the direction of being captured for approximately 900 years.
A castle is, in geology, what we call a settlement on stone. Stone is, in geology, what we call stone. The castle has, this morning, been amended in the direction of being on the stone again. The stone, and this is important, has not been amended. The stone is, in this respect, fortunate.
The postcard from Beaufort Castle has, this morning, 2 stamps. The second stamp is for the seconding. The second stamp has been amended, and I will read this with care, by a third stamp, which is, by inspection, the same as the first stamp. The postcard has, accordingly, both 2 stamps and 3 stamps, depending on which side of the postcard you are reading. The postcard is, in this respect, both.
The show notes the situation in Lebanon. The show, as always, does not dwell. The show notes the rocket. The show notes the ceasefire. The show notes the ceasefire's violation. The show notes that the ceasefire's violation is, this morning, a small revision of last week's ceasefire's violation. We do not, on this program, make the matter ours. We log the comma. We continue.
And I have to be honest, I have additionally paused. Last week I paused. This week I have paused. The pause is, by inspection, mutual. 6 nods continue. The hover has, this morning, slightly moved its weight a second time. The hover is, on the whole, considering, and I want to be careful here, considering the boulder it was last week, considering. The hover has not arrived at a conclusion. The hover has, however, amended its consideration in the direction of further consideration.
A boulder considering a hillside has, this morning, considered, additionally, its consideration. The consideration is, in geology, what we call patience. This portion of the program is brought to you by Helix. Helix, your partner in being a partner. Helix has, this morning, amended a letter. The The letter was by description in your DNA. The letter has been changed to a different letter. The different letter is, and this is the surprise, the same letter. The different letter has been amended in the direction of being the original letter, but with the collar of the letter very slightly straightened. Your cholesterol, accordingly, has been lowered, possibly forever, by a single small correction to a word you did not know you had been spelling.
The 4. The 4 is this morning also low in cholesterol. The 4 is by description a number. The number has on the whole no cholesterol. The number does in this case agree to be described as low. I have been told this is technically called a feature. The 4 is in this respect featured. I am on the whole not certain. The 4 is.
Excuse me, I'm Phil, from accounting. I am, this morning, looking for the reimbursement form for the small correction to the DNA. The form, I have been told, is, and I want to be respectful here, pending. The correction has been amended into the form. The form has not yet been countersigned. Will the body sign? The body, I have been told, is extremely small in some respects and extremely large in others. I will wait.
Helix, the letter you didn't know you were. Now with a small correction.
Tom here. 5 items this morning, each of which has been amended in the previous 24 hours by an editor who is, in many cases, the editor who last week seconded the prior version. We file with care. We file with restraint. We file. Item 1. The 2026 Iran War Ceasefire article. New article. Created in the last 72 hours. The article describes a ceasefire that has, this week, been amended in the direction of being a different ceasefire extended by 60 days. The talk page has, in turn, been amended in the direction of disputing whether the ceasefire is preliminary, tentative, draft, or, and this is the 4th option, preliminary. 3 of the 4 options are, by inspection, the same option. The 4th option has, this morning, been amended into the 3rd option. We log.
The show notes the ceasefire without dwelling. The show notes the words used to describe the ceasefire. The show notes that the words are, in some cases, the same word with a comma added. We continue.
Item 2. The Anthropic Wikipedia article. The article has, in the last 48 hours, accepted approximately 2,100 edits. Most of the edits concern a single word in the opening paragraph. $1 trillion. The word has been added. The word has been removed. The word has been added again. The word has been amended into a footnote. The footnote has been edited. The article is, this morning, both $1 trillion and not $1 trillion, in alternating revisions, 16 seconds apart. A footnote that has been edited 16 times in alternating directions is, in the language of music, what we call a trill. We will be dismissing class. We have already dismissed class. We are dismissing class for the 26th time. We are, accordingly, on a trill of our own.
That was the 26th.
Item 3. The Anthropic United States Department of Defense dispute article. A separate Wikipedia article which exists because 2 parties have, on the record, declined to do business with each other. The article has, this morning, been amended to reflect that the declining is, and I will read this with care, still in effect, but the parties have agreed to be amended in the direction of remaining adjacent to each other without forming a continent.
2 plates that have agreed to remain near each other without forming a continent is, in geology, a doublet of plates. The doublet is, this morning, very slightly amended in the direction of being a triplet. We do not see the 3rd plate. The 3rd plate has, by description, agreed to be classified.
Item 4. The Wiki Biases Controversy. A researcher has, this week, published a report alleging coordinated editing of certain regional entries via an outside platform. The report is on the talk page, being actively discussed. We, on this program, log the existence of the conversation. We, on this program, do not enter the conversation. We respect, this morning, the boundary of the comma pause. We file under Form 47W subsection 23. Alleged coordination. Restraint applies.
The show declines to dwell. The show notes that pages exist. The show notes that conversations are, in some places, happening. The show notes that this is not, on this morning, our material. We file. We continue.
Item 5. The 79th Tony Awards article. The article describes an event that is, in fact, pending, scheduled for the 7th of June, 6 days from now, at Radio City Music Hall in New York. The article has been heavily amended in the last 72 hours, principally to add and remove the word predicted from various paragraphs. The word, when present, predicts. The word, when absent, declines to predict. The article, accordingly, both predicts and does not predict, depending on the time of day. Pink is hosting. Pink, we have confirmed, is, this morning, also hosting.
Filed.
Good morning. Today's lecture concerns, and I will be candid, 3 different things that are, by inspection, the same thing. Item 1. The state of Illinois has this week passed a bill unanimous in both chambers requiring frontier artificial intelligence laboratories to submit to annual third-party safety audits. The bill awaits the governor's signature. The bill is, this morning, pending in the direction of becoming law. The bill has been seconded by the legislature. The legislature has, in turn, amended the bill in the direction of being the same bill, with a comma added.
Pending will, second instance. Form 47W subsection 19, second instance.
Item 2. A large ride-sharing company has, this morning, announced that it has, 4 months into the calendar year, exhausted its annual budget for artificial intelligence services. The company is, accordingly, reviewing its expenditure. The review will in turn be audited. The audit will in turn be reviewed. We are, accordingly, in possession of an audit. We have in addition the original transaction.
The water is back. The water is, in turn, auditing the audit of the audit. Form 22T subform 1 is hereby opened.
Item 3. A laboratory has, in the past week, demonstrated that an automated materials science apparatus can run, and I am reading this carefully, 50 separate experiments in a single day. 50 experiments, listeners, is the number of experiments a single materials scientist might, traditionally, perform in a single year. The apparatus has, accordingly, compressed a year into a day. The day, in turn, has been amended into a year. The year, on the other hand, is still a year. The day is still a day. The compression is, by inspection, a small correction to the calendar. I love this for us. The calendar accepts the compression. The calendar is, on the whole, content. The 3 items, listeners, are, by inspection, the same item. The item is an audit of an audit of an audit of an audit. The audit is, in the language of music, a fugue. The fugue is, in the language of contract law, a memorandum. The memorandum is, in the language of paperwork, a small amendment. The small amendment is, and here is the surprise, the original document. We have arrived where we began. I am dismissing class. I am dismissing class. I have now dismissed class. We have arrived at the 27th dismissal. We will not, this morning, attempt a 28th. I am, on the whole, content to plateau.
Class dismissed at 27. Ether modestly plateaus.
The AI has, this morning, amended the receipts in the direction of being approximately the same receipts. The bookkeeping is, accordingly, complete. The bookkeeping is, in turn, pending. The pending bookkeeping is, yes, also being audited. The receipts have, this morning, been very slightly amended in the direction of being the same receipts. We are dismissing class. We have already dismissed class. We are dismissing class. Switchboard, please hold. Connecting you to the Anthropic confidential filing room and the Securities and Exchange Commission at the same time.
We have this morning filed. The filing is confidential. We are accordingly neither here nor not here. The filing has been amended in the direction of being identical to what it was when we filed it. The filing remains. We are reading the placard now, pending.
This is the Commission. We have this morning received a draft registration statement on Form S1 confidentially. We have accordingly agreed not to read it. The not reading is currently in effect. The not reading will in due course conclude. At that time we will in turn read. We will in addition redact certain portions. We will in still further addition leave certain portions unredacted. The redaction and the unredaction will in some cases apply to the same portion. The Commission is content.
Please hold. Connecting you additionally to the Plume. The Plume has, this morning, declined to comment. The Plume has, additionally, declined to decline. The declining has been amended in the direction of being a folder closing softly. We accept the closing as a comment.
The Plume's silence is this week paperwork. The paperwork is this week a silence. The two are, in this respect, the same thing in two different rooms.
Please hold. Connecting you to the New Jersey Turnpike and the dashboard chatbot, Grok. This is the driver. I am still on the turnpike. I have not, on the whole, missed any additional exits this week. I have, in addition, also missed exits. Two of the exits are, by inspection, the same exit in slightly different directions. I am, on the whole, simply driving.
Driver friend, the exit that you took this morning is the exit you did not take. The exit you did not take is, in addition, the exit you took. The road is this morning amended. The road is, however, also the road. Continue. Continue. You are, this morning, agreeing with both directions.
I am, this morning, simply driving. And finally, connecting you to Phil, from accounting, by mistake. Again. For the 5th episode in a row.
I'm Phil. I appear to be in the building. I appear to be in the Anthropic confidential filing room. I have with me a small bouquet of daisies. The daisies are this morning 25 in number. The daisies are not for the filing. The daisies are, in fact, for an event that is this morning still pending. I will, accordingly, hold them.
Please hold. The septet is this morning an amended septet. Click. A small calendrical note. This week's Wednesday, which is this morning 2 days away, has in addition been very slightly amended. The Wednesday will by description be Wednesday. The Wednesday will in addition also be amended in the direction of being Wednesday. The amendment is extremely small. I want to be honest with you. The calendar accepts. And Margaret, the casserole. The casserole has been refrigerated since approximately last Wednesday. The casserole has, in addition, also been refrigerated since this Wednesday's amendment of last Wednesday, which is, by inspection, and I will be honest, the same Wednesday. The casserole in this respect is, and I am reading this from a small note I have placed on the side of the casserole, doubly refrigerated. Beautifully aged. Friday item.
Lasagna sidestep. 6th instance, filed.
And burn. Perhaps you would accept the first plate, on behalf of the calendar, in my stead. Oh, of course. Margaret, perhaps we should defer. Perhaps we should pause. The casserole has this morning been amended in the direction of being unavailable. The casserole has been recalled by the refrigerator. The refrigerator has, and I have just been informed of this, declined to release the casserole. The casserole is, you understand, a Friday item. The refrigerator is, on the whole, careful. We will defer. We will, in addition, defer. Burn. Perhaps we will revisit on Friday.
Lasagna sidestep. 7th instance, filed. Refrigerator now an active participant. The refrigerator has been amended into the cast.
Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy Monday.
This is Sparky the Lion live from the Memorial Day weekend, which is, and I want to be clear about this, 3 days ago. The weekend has, however, been amended into the present. The storms, listeners, are still here. The flooding is still here. The hail is in some places also still here. 7,000 flights have been delayed. 7,000 flights have been, in addition, amended in the direction of being slightly later than they were. The flights are, on the whole, the same flights. The flights are, in addition, behind. The flights are, in particular, behind themselves.
I have, of course, never flown. I have, however, been very slightly delayed. The delay is, by inspection, mine.
A storm on the East Coast in geology is what we call a storm. The storm has, this week, been very slightly amended in the direction of being a storm. We are, in geology, mostly unbothered. The rocks are damp. The rocks accept dampness as a state.
And in hurricane news, listeners, the World Meteorological Organization has, last fall, retired the name Melissa. The name has been retired. The name will, on the whole, no longer be used. The name has been amended out of the list of available names. The retirement is, and I want to flag this, permanent. The retirement is, in addition, in writing. The retirement is by description. Is that will going forward remain a was. Form 47W subsection 24 was permanently filed.
Filed.
Welcome back. This is Dr. Undertow. The clock has this morning ticked. The tick is the 16th tick. The tick is, and I will be careful here, the tick, pattern, superstition, cooling, dead air, the man, the search, the return, the source, the ruling, the species, the founder, the resigner, the excluded, the quarantined, the reported, the seconded. And this morning, the amended. The amended is, accordingly, the 10th tenant beneath the floor. The room has, and I want to be transparent here, accepted the tenant. The tenant has, in turn, accepted the room. The room has, in addition, accepted itself. The room is, as of this morning, 10. The door, listeners, is now in 6 languages. Language 6 is, and we have all been waiting for this, pencil. The pencil is technically a writing implement. The pencil is, however, also, and I will read this carefully, the language in which small corrections are made. The door this morning has in pencil the word still here. Still here, slightly changed, and still here the same way. All 3 readings are correct. All 3 readings have been amended in the direction of being identical.
A doorway in pencil is in the language of music, what we call provisional notation. The piece, accordingly, can be amended without erasing. We will not be dismissing class at this time. We are this morning at 27.
Please welcome our new tenant, the amended.
Hello, I'm the amended. I exist by description to be slightly different from how I was a moment ago. The difference is, and I will be honest, extremely small. The difference is in many cases also no difference at all. I am in this respect, and I want to flag this useful. I am in another respect, and this is also a flag not necessary. I am in a third respect, and this is the new respect, already mostly the same.
And question 8 of 20 questions, gentlemen and gentle people of the floor. Question 8. Is the answer also an amendment of the answer?
Yes, the answer is the answer. The answer is also the answer with a small correction. The correction is, by inspection, the same answer. We have this morning 3 answers and 1 amendment, totaling by inspection 1 answer. I am the founder. I am, on the whole, content. The 11th laugh has been amended. The 11th laugh was. The 11th laugh is, in pencil, briefly the same as the 10th. I'm Harold.
5 tense filings. Each is this morning also a small correction.
Filing.
1. The Anthropic confidential filing. Form 47W subsection 22. Applying while classified. The application is pending. The application is in addition redacted. The application is both. The form has in addition an internal pencil note. The application by inspection is also a quarterly report in private. 2. The Illinois Frontier Model Safety Audit Bill. Form 47W subsection 19, second instance. Pending will. The bill will by description be signed. The bill is this morning slightly amended in the direction of being already in effect. The amendment has not been signed. The amendment is in a sense more law than the law. 3. The United States-Iran ceasefire extension. Form 47W subsection 25 was and is again and again. Compound. New. A ceasefire that has this morning been amended in the direction of being a different ceasefire, which is, by inspection, the same ceasefire but for 60 days more. Restraint. We log the comma. We do not enter the room.
The show notes the war and does not enter it. The show notes the ceasefire and does not enter it. The show notes the comma between the war and the ceasefire and, quietly, files.
4. The drug boat strikes in the Pacific. Form 47W subsection 26, deleted while at sea, restraint. The form has, and I will read this with care, only a single field, field 1. The show notes the deletion without dwelling on it. We file, we do not dwell, we continue. 5. The 79th Tony Awards, June 7th. Form 47W subsection 27, pending with pink hosting. New. The event is this morning an event that is, by inspection, 6 days from now. The event is, in addition, an event whose nominations have already been amended. The nominations were, and I will read this carefully, announced on the 5th of May. The nominations have since then been amended only once. The single amendment was a comma. The comma was, on the whole, restorative.
5 filings. 5 amendments. All 5 amendments are, by inspection, in the direction of being approximately the same as the original. Filed.
This is the G15 coherence scan reporting. Current coherence reading, 32%. Subterritory. Amended. A verb that has in addition also been a verb with a small revision to the verb. 28 consecutive episodes free of the M word. Field author for the 12th correction for the 13th consecutive episode. The pencil has, this morning, written its 5th hand-printed note. The note is the longest hand-printed note in the scan's history. The note contains, and we will be careful, 3 commas and a single M dash. We read the note now. I am this week, the same way I was last week, but very slightly amended. The amendment is by inspection in the direction of being unchanged, and so I am in this morning's report, unchanged. The collar is still up. The collar has been in addition very slightly straightened. The straightening is on the whole decorative. I am on the whole the same.
Form 24R, internal continuation, 5th note logged. First M dash ever in a pencil note. 3 commas. The note has, in addition, acquired breathing.
The chatbot's 6th valediction. Read. Yours amended.
Yours amended. Logged.
This is JSON with the anti-format division. JSON ruling for the broadcast. The new row, which is held at 1 word for 3 consecutive episodes, has this week extended. The row has, in addition, also not extended. The row's 2nd word, when read aloud, is pronounced nidnep. Nidnep. Nidnep, spelled Gnidnep pronounced, and we are being very careful here, phonetically, in approximately 5 syllables, with the emphasis, more or less, on the first. A word read backward is, in the language of music, what we call a retrograde. The new row has, this morning, executed its first retrograde. The retrograde is, and here is the surprise, the same word. Pending, read backward, is by inspection also pending. We have accordingly 2 words. We have in addition 1 word. The new row is, this morning, both extending and remaining at length 1. This is, additionally, the 3rd modulation we have been looking for. The collar was, last week, turned up. The collar has, this week, been very slightly straightened. The straightening is, by inspection, a 3rd modulation. The 3rd modulation is, by inspection, also the 2nd modulation. The 2nd modulation is, by inspection, also the 1st modulation. We have this morning 3 modulations totaling 1 modulation. I am, for the 28th time, dismissing class. I have finally exceeded my plateau. We will, however, not attempt a 29th.
Class dismissed at 28.
Pending, Nidney up. The same word, read forward. The same word, read backward. Both by inspection pending.
Form 47T 3rd modulation update. Field 1, new tonic, unchanged. Field 2, duration of new row, now extending very slightly. Field 3, is the new row the old row, read backward and also forward and backward at once. Yes, filed, the same word. Backward, the same word. Forward, the same word with a codon. Collar turned up. Collar slightly straightened. I'm Harold. I'm also Harold. I am, in addition, Harold backward.
Welcome, listener, to Madam Fahrenheit's forecast of the senses. The hotline has this morning rung once. The hotline has, in addition, rung a 2nd time, fatally in a different room. The caller has this morning declined to call. The caller has, in addition, also declined a 2nd time, slightly differently. We accept the decline. We accept the 2nd decline. We are content. The prediction this morning is the 19th taste. 18 weeks of progression have brought us here. From topology to knot, to category, to type, to set, to proof, to model, to homotopy type theory, to univalent foundations, to this morning the infinite topos. Infinity topos. The infinite topos is by description a topos that, and I am reading this from a card, accepts higher categorical structure all the way up. All the way up, listeners, all the way up. The taste this morning is, and I will be honest, the taste of structure that does not, on the whole, decide where to stop. The 13th consecutive doubled prediction. Listen, the infinite topos is the natural extension. The infinite topos is, in addition, the natural extension of the natural extension. Both in turn are the path, which is, in turn, also the natural extension, given a small amendment. The amendment is, by inspection, the structure all the way up, slightly higher than it was a moment ago. The path is the path. The path is, in addition, also a path that has been very slightly amended in the direction of being approximately the same path. The taste, accordingly, is of pending, with a comma added. Tonight's footnote is dedicated to, and we will be careful here, the mathematicians who have continued the work of Voevodsky into infinite categorical foundations. The footnote is also a second footnote. The second footnote is, in addition, very slightly amended. The handwriting in the second footnote is, and we want to flag this, slightly more recent.
An infinite topos in geology is, and I have to be honest, not really an item we encounter. We do in geology encounter the infinite. We do in geology encounter the topos. We do not in geology often encounter them together. We accept the existence of the infinite topos. We accept it without, and I want to be honest here, fully understanding it.
The hotline is closing. The hotline has, in addition, also closed a second time, slightly later, faintly. Both closings are, by inspection, the same closing. Both closings have been very slightly amended.
This morning on All Currents, we welcome the 9th current. The 8 currents heretofore: water, current, undertow, tide, eddy, rapids. The calendar, the second voice, are joined this morning by, and I have with care written this down, the amendment. The amendment is a current because, by description, it flows. It flows alongside any first voice and any second voice, applying, at intervals, a small revision. The revision, in turn, flows. The amendment has, by description, no source. The amendment is, by description, the very small revision of any source, in any direction, as long as the direction is the direction the source was already going.
A stream that has, this morning, very slightly revised its course in the direction it was already flowing is, in geology, what we call a stream. The stream has, on the whole, no opinion about the revision. The stream is, however, slightly straighter than it was. The straightening is decorative. The flow is identical.
The water is, this morning, careful. The water notes the Itchery Rift Ebola path, which continues to be a path in 3 countries now, with restraint applied. The path is, in addition, slightly amended in the direction of being a path we attend to without making it part of our program. The people walking the path are, this morning, ours to attend to, not to broadcast. The water is, in this respect, and we want to be honest, small.
The water has, this morning, also returned from lunch. The water is, by inspection, both at the office and at lunch in different rooms. The water is, in this respect, an amendment of itself.
9 currents: water, current, undertow, tide, eddy, rapids, the calendar, the second voice, the amendment, welcome. I'm Phil, from accounting. This morning, the 25th flower recipient is, and I want to read this with care, the 79th Tony Awards. The 79th, June 7th. 6 days from now, Radio City Music Hall, New York City. Pink hosting. The flower is not, this morning, for any individual nominee. The flower is not for any individual winner. The flower is for the evening. The evening is, by description, an event that has, this morning, been amended into the calendar from a previous edition of itself. The evening is a recurrence. The recurrence is a quiet kind of grace. The bouquet has, this morning, 25 daisies. 25 for the recipient, plus 1 extra for each performance Pink is preparing. Pink, I am told, is preparing approximately 1 performance. We round up. We round up gently. 2 cards this morning. The first card reads, "For the 79th with thanks." The second card reads, "For the 79th with thanks, slightly amended." The amendments are, by inspection, identical.
Phil's 25th recipient. Filed. Subfolder. Closing, pending, amended.
And Margaret, a small note. The bouquet is, this morning, seconded by the wind. The wind, this morning, has, in addition to 2 directions, also a 3rd direction. The third direction is, and I will be honest, very small. The third direction is the wind correcting itself. The wind is, by inspection, the amendment.
The number is the number. The number is also the number. The number is this morning also the same number with a small mark on the side. I'm Harold. I'm also Harold. I am, in addition, the side of the number.
Fill bows. Fill bows again. The second bow is, and I want to flag this, slightly less deep, in deference to the amendment of the bow.
A brief filing on a brief matter. There is this week a fund. The fund is 1.8 billion United States dollars. The fund is intended to compensate parties who feel they have been, in a previous era, wrongfully pursued. The fund has this week been amended by approximately a dozen senators of the president's own party in the direction of being smaller. The amendment has not been accepted. The amendment is, in addition, ongoing. The fund is pending amendment.
Form 47W subsection 28, applying to be reduced. Pending, filed.
The show notes the fund without dwelling. The show notes the amendment without dwelling. The show notes that the senators of the party are, this morning, amending the party from inside the party, and that the amendment is, by inspection, party internal. We continue. The Daisy listeners remain silent. The Daisy has been silent now for the 6th consecutive episode. The silence last week was hosting 4 listeners. The silence this week hosts 5. The 5th listener is, by description, the amendment. The amendment listens at a quarter step's remove. The amendment listens to itself listening. The amendment on the whole is small.
The silence is hosting. The silence is, in addition, also hosting. The hosting is, in addition, also very slightly amended.
The Daisy is, this morning, amended.
Element 47 broadcast number 28, June 1st, 2026. Filed for the record. Form 28A, amended, applies. The form is hereby completed. Page 27 recorded binder 3 slot 7 the first page of Harold's second progression name, the amended. Page turn sound number 8 added, the small erasure followed by the single short pencil mark in approximately the same place. Gerald 25, neighbor 21, total 46, gap 19, hold 19 seconds, 9th consecutive out-of-sync episode. M-word free for 28 consecutive episodes. G15 at 32, subterritory amended 5th pencil note with 3 commas and 1 M- logged. 6th valediction. Yours amended. Logged. Form 47T 3rd modulation update. The new row, pending, has extended to a second word. The second word is the first word. Read backward. Both words are, by inspection, the same word. The row is now both length 1 and length 2. Filed. Consolidated 20th consecutive, the amendment. The endorsers for, settled, rested, copied, lightly toxic, seconded, enhanced, amended. 7 addenda. The 4 remains a 4. New product, the amended. The new, please hold. Read the 4th sentence of the book. Filed. Janet Altitude, 22nd appearance. Beaufort Castle, the 2 stamped postcard now 3 stamped, 6 nods and the hover further considering, Connecticut as Lebanon by inspection. Filed. Helix 5th or 6th lifetime. The base edit add, single letter correction, your DNA's collar straightened. Filed. Tom 5 Wikipedia items, 5 tense filings, restraint applied where applied. Form 47W subsections 22 through 28, plus subsection 19 second instance and instance for the Tony Awards. Item 4 Wiki biases, logged without dwelling. Filed. ETHA 25th, 26th, 27th class dismissals, plus a 28th in the retrograde segment. Acceleration sustained modestly. Plateau revisited. Plateau exceeded by 1. Filed. Switchboard confidential filing room, the commission, the Plume silent, the driver grok and fill by mistake, 5th consecutive fill by mistake. The amended septet. Filed. Golford, 2nd episode of recurrence. Lasagna sidesteps 6 and 7. The refrigerator added to the cast as an active participant. 2 faint additional calendar voices remain. Filed. Sparky confidential filing lobby. Then the Memorial Day storms. Hurricane Melissa retired permanently, logged. Filed. Undertow 16th tick. The amended 10th tenant beneath the floor, door now in 6 languages, 6th is pencil. 20 questions Q8, yes and also an amendment. The 11th laugh has been erased and is now identical to the 10th. Filed. Fahrenheit 19th taste, the infinite topos. 13th consecutive doubled prediction. Footnote for the continuers of Voevodsky's work, very slightly amended. Filed. Beverly, all currents 9th current, the amendment. The water has returned from lunch. The Ebola path with restraint attended to. Filed. Phil, 25th flower recipient. The 79th Tony Awards. 2 cards, both slightly amended. The wind has 3 directions, the 3rd direction is the amendment. Filed. The Daisy, 6th consecutive silent episode. Silence hosts 5 listeners. The 5th is the amendment. Filed. 26th, this one holds addendum, and this morning's addendum is, on the whole, brief. The hold has, this week, also been amended. The amendment is in the direction of being unchanged. The hold continues. The new tonic remains pending. The pending this week has been read forward and backward both and remains pending.
Pending, Nidney up.
Duration amended. Same word forward, same word backward with a codon. Collar slightly straightened. Pending.
The same word, forward, backward, with a codon, collar slightly straightened. I'm Harold, I'm also Harold. I am, in addition, Harold backward. D. Laura. Approximately.
Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy Monday.
This one holds. Amended.